Hello TV fans and welcome to Lost in the Reel. Today I'm going to be covering my most anticipated series of 2022, Amazon Prime's The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, episodes 1 and 2. Does this show meet expectations, surpass them, or fall short? Let's talk about it. The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power is created by Patrick McKay and John D. Payne, based upon the works by J.R.R. Tolkien. It stars Morfydd Clark, Nazanin Boniadi, Robert Aramayo, Ismael Cruz Cordova, Emma Horvath, Owain Arthur, Charlie Vickers, and Daniel Wayman. The Rings of Power is an epic drama set thousands of years before the events of J.R.R. Tolkien's The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings. It follows an ensemble cast of characters, both familiar and new, as they confront the long-feared re-emergence of evil to Middle-earth. For anyone that follows my channel closely, they know that I am a huge Lord of the Rings fan. The original Peter Jackson trilogy are three of my favorite films of all time, and I grew up reading the books religiously. After the mediocre Hobbit movies, there was a part of me that thought that it would be a very, very long time until we were able to visit Middle-earth again. But here we are with Amazon Prime's prequel television series, The Rings of Power, which has taken much of the lore from J.R.R. Tolkien's vast appendices and expanded upon them. Deemed the most expensive series ever made, with Amazon Prime reportedly spending $715 million on the series so far, which includes the massive $250 million they spent on the rights alone. So, was this show worth the investment? 100% it was. With HBO and Netflix stealing the hearts and minds of fantasy and sci-fi lovers this year, with House of the Dragon and Stranger Things respectively, Amazon obviously needed a piece of the pie too. And I respect the hell out of the showrunners for not just lazily putting something together to cash in quickly. They have clearly put so much love and care into the creation of The Rings of Power, and it is apparent in every frame of these first two episodes. From the small intricate details all the way to the most enormous of set pieces, you can tell that showrunners Patrick McKay and John D. Payne have crafted a series for the die-hard fans out there. And I truly believe, at least from what I have seen so far, that this show would have brought Tolkien some real honest joy. Though we are still getting into the nitty-gritty of what this show will actually be about, it begins with Galadriel, thousands of years before Frodo's quest to Mount Doom. She's on the hunt to vanquish evil from the land, and while her High King is dead set on announcing to the realm that all threats have been eradicated, she is not so quick to jump to those conclusions. We also follow an adventurous Harfoot girl named Nori, who yearns to spread her wings from the simple life of her people, King Elrond and Prince Durin of the Dwarves, as well as an elven soldier named Arondir, and Bronwyn, a human healer trying to raise her precarious young son on her own. The ensemble is already so vast, and every couple of minutes we get a new important character receiving their debut. But just like in Peter Jackson's films, each one of these players feel clearly defined and get a memorable introduction. So I'm not feeling overwhelmed or bombarded by all of these plot lines and character arcs, just yet at least. The showrunners are doing a great job in both of these episodes, with delegating time to each of the plot threads and allowing them to flourish without overstaying their welcome. It will be integral to the series' success that the writers don't get excessively overambitious by adding too many characters to their plate, especially before they flesh out the ones they have already brought to the forefront first. If I were to pick any standouts, which is difficult because there are many, I think the undeniable choice would be Morfydd Clark's Galadriel. The young actress who burst out onto the scene as the title character in the horrific Saint Maud proves here as well that she is a force to be reckoned with. I'm sure it wasn't easy following in the footsteps of the incredible Cate Blanchett, but she has already made the role her own, by taking the mysterious and ethereal aspects of the character, but also making Galadriel a tough-as-nails badass as well. And out of the new characters, who I believe were created just for the show, Ismael Cruz Cordova as the elven soldier Arondir has certainly piqued my interest. His bond with one of the other characters, as well as him being displaced from his station and thrown into chaos, is proving to be the most gripping story arc for me so far. Also, I just have to give a shout out to the orcs, who have already provided a few terrifying thrills and jump out of your seat moments. With this being just the beginning of the season, I cannot wait to see what these nasty creatures will be up to next. As for the production value of the Rings of Power, I don't think there has ever been anything made exclusively for television that looks and feels as gorgeous and as epic as this series does. Every penny obviously went to good use. From the makeup, costume production, and creature design, to the exemplary CGI effects, the breathtaking cinematography and on-location shooting, the goosebump-inducing score by Lord of the Rings composer Howard Shore, as well as Bear McCreary, all the way to the inspired art direction, which feels like the love child of Peter Jackson's vision of Middle-earth, and the illustrations of Alan Lee and Tolkien himself. All of it comes together to create such a cinematic experience. And I hope Amazon ends up doing more theatrical runs of these episodes in the future, because all of the work put into this show really deserves to be seen up on the big screen. The one issue that I have with these first 2 hours is that I am severely missing a hook to keep me coming back for more. In The Lord of the Rings, Frodo's quest is put front and center, and it is what keeps us invested in the entire saga. While all of the other story arcs and characters contribute to the world building and intrigue, the simple fish out of water journey is the sturdy foundation of it all. And with the Rings of Power, that foundation has not been built yet. We have all of these compelling characters and a threat of evil looming, but not much else tangible to grab onto. If audiences are going to keep coming back week after week, there needs to be more mystery, more emotion, and a concise central plight for us to rally behind. With all of that being said, there are 6 hours left to go of Season 1. And just the thought of getting to return to Middle-earth every Friday for a month and a half fills my giddy fanboy heart with glee. I couldn't have asked for a better beginning to this series. While people will probably start the Rings of Power conversation with how much damn money it costs to produce, just as I did with my review, I can't see them finishing that conversation talking about anything other than how great it actually turned out. So I will be giving The Lord of the Rings of Power, Episodes 1 and 2, 4.25 Galadriels out of 5. Though the series is going to need a clear hook to keep audiences coming back for more, these 2 episodes are beautiful, breathtaking, and epic in every way. Amazon Prime's The Rings of Power lives up to all of its impossible expectations, and then miraculously surpasses them. Thank you so much for watching Lost in the Reel. What are your thoughts on The Rings of Power? Did it live up to your expectations? And what would you like to see in the series moving forward? Sound off in the comment section down below. And until next time, my friends, take care.